Yes, thank you, Chetna, for having found out the. So that's the power of communication. She spoke faster than the time I took to walk from there to here, and yes, I think we have been here and we have had conferences. I've attended here for past 2 3 years. And I must say, sir, that this is the first time in the media conference wherein we have got somebody to speak who is not from the field of media, but who uses media as part of his general practice. So it has given us a very, very good insight into I would not say an organization, but into a way of life. The armed forces in this country are a way of life, and incomplete in everything. It's not just about weapons. It's just not about aircraft and ships and tanks. It's about a way you live the life. The traumas, the emotions, the conflicts, the upbringing of the children. One of the major things which was mentioned in the general's introduction was that while planning a war with Pakistan, he was also administering a Kendriya Vidyalaya, an army public school for education of children in that area. So that's the beauty of the organization, which works at length into the areas which are nothing much to do with war. Now, having come to, it was sort of a wonderful lecture, goes without saying, and there were certain, just wanted to add to a few points you mentioned about 2611 and the NSG operation and the IG operations. I'm very happy to share with you, few days back in this very auditorium, we have a media exercise called Spandan, and in the grand finale, we actually enacted the role played by Major General Abhay Gupta in 2611 on this very auditorium, and you can still see the poster of that event here, Shame Sipahi. And I must share with you another thing that the General and General Abhay Gupta had served together during the Kargil war in 25 Dev, which is very close to the border in Poonch Rajouri area. So probably that's what you know. And I also know that on every 2611, he calls up General Gupta and tells him, thank you for having saved our country on that particular day. So again, that the world does not know about Abhay Gupta is also somewhere shows on the lack of communication skills of the armed forces, that you're not able to actually, if I can use the word, if it is correct to use the word, advertise adequately about your great heroes. There have been heroes in 71 war, there have been heroes in 99 wars, but you necessarily do not become a hero by dying in a war. The wars are won not by dying yourself, but making the enemy die in the war. So I think people like him have made great contributions in saving this country, which should have been adequately advertised by media. You said about technology, about British coming to this country with technology. The biggest example of we the historians, I was at a conference like this in Nehru Memorial, where there was a lot of debate on why did we lose it out to British in 1857. And then there was disunity, lack of nationalism and all that. But the greatest factor was technology. When Bahadur Shah Zafar was finally arrested and taken from here on way to Burma, he left Delhi on a bullock cart. And by that time, British has covered most of the country. And when he reached Kanpur, he saw a steam engine, a steamer, a steam engine driven boat. And then he was put on that steam engine and then taken to Calcutta and from there to Burma. So while we were on bullock cart in that era, British were already onto steam engine. So a better technology powered nation and a better technology powered army will always have a superior hand over somebody who is not well, howsoever good the man behind the machine. But machine and man, there has to be, you cannot give a man a bow and arrow And a better man a bow and arrow, and a lesser person, howitzer gun, and then to get into artillery warfare, the one with the bow and arrow will always lose. There is no two ways about it. Then, yes, we have had stories, we have had film stories that how the weapon makers, the arms dealers, the arm makers have created wars in this globe. And as you rightly pointed out, we are entering into an era where the social media entrepreneurs are creating situations where we will be entering into war. Sir, howsoever you might wish, we are not going back to the era of telephone and telegram and teleprinters. We are only going to get better and better with technology, and you will have to find ways and means to take on technology. And as you rightly gave the example of NATO, that it is always better to be present in the cyber world rather than let anybody use your absence. So it's very important that you be there to counter what is being said and told about you, and then let somebody speak for you when you are not there. Talking about propaganda, you see, it's very difficult to accept your enemy's abilities. But I must tell you, I have studied propaganda at some length, and I can tell you that they are also very, very creative in what they give out. Yes, it's true that in our country, before the propaganda actually starts, there are so many layers for clearances before it can go out in the field. Where they are having a single command there, it's not that difficult for them to put it into what you call into the cyberspace at a quicker and a faster pace than we can do. And one of the, when we talk about 71 war, it is being talked about 50 years of 71 war, and a lot of things are being talked about that India, despite having 90,000 prisoners of war, we let go this, we let go that. But did we do it for the do it for any our any sweet will or anything? What it was that we somebody had a very this thing had Mahatma Gandhi coming in her dreams and deciding to leave the soldiers. Pakistan was able to create through propaganda a severe pressure on India for the safety and safe transportation of the prisoners of war. And they did something which was unthinkable. They released a stamp. They released a stamp after 71 war. हमने तो स्टैम्प रिलीज किया इस बात के लिए कि we have won the war. They released a stamp appealing to the world conscience for the safety of those 90,000 prisoners of war. So as in Ramayana, Ram told Lakshman that there is something to learn from Ravan. I am very sure in our media communications, when we talk about military to military, information warfare, there is a lot to learn from Pakistan, and there is a lot to learn from China also, who are actually, but again, this sometimes we get better of them, sometimes they get better of us. We got better of them in the Abhinandan case, where we were able to create a world pressure on them for early release of the pilot who had dropped out. So I was addressing the cadets of Indian Military Academy a few years back, and at that point of time, the commandant there, Lieutenant General Manvendra Singh, he said that, howsoever may I desire that media should not be part of the military discourse and operations, there is no getaway from it. And for we media persons, it's very, very important that we educate ourselves well about the way military works. At the same time, the onus is on the military to educate the media world well in advance about the way they function. Do not, as I said, do not leave the space empty for somebody else to come and occupy it and make a false propaganda about you. With these words, I am very, very grateful to you, sir, for having found time and having prepared such a long lecture. And I I must apologize to you for having cut you short at some point of time or other, but we have some other sessions also lined up for which has to be addressed. And I'm very sure our students who are largely first-year students here, they would have realized the level of discourse that we pursue or that we seek to pursue at Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. And you have to pull up your socks for that kind of a discourse. I was very glad that some of very good, interesting questions were asked. Upreti, you asked a very good question, and you impressed me during Sham-e-Sipahi, and you have impressed me again today with your understanding of the matters and issues. Thank you so much, sir. And not last, but not the least, the Vice Chairman of the Institute, who always is there at hand for such discourses and gets himself ready. And you see, that's something learned from him. You go and attend a business school discourse, he will have something to say on business. You go to a IT school discourse, he will have to say something on IT. And today in a media school discourse, he had so much to say about media-military relationship. And sitting on the dais, what gives me the strength and what gives me, and it's a lesson for all of you here who has been whispering amongst yourself and who has been gossiping amongst yourself. You have two great luminaries sitting here on the front row. Two very great friends, Mr. Subba Rao and Professor Venkata Rao, who eat lunch together, but during the whole course of discourse, they were sitting at a distance and listening so diligently to it. Even at their station in life, when the world recognizes them for their achievement, they find time, they come here and they listen to something because they see a potential in learning something new. So please don't miss on such opportunities to hear a lecture of this level, of this credential. It will help you go a long way into becoming a very successful media person. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you so much, sir, for having found time. Thank you.